doozy of a day.
A real doozy.
The other day, I was playing Minecraft in the living room, and all the kids had fell asleep behind me, so I had one of those pop-out lawn chairs, the fold-out ones. I was just
Oh, yeah,
chilling
yeah.
in the living room, playing, minding my own business, and since it's summer, we keep getting flies in the house, and I'm sitting there minding my own business. Usually I have headphones on, but this time I didn't. Minding my own business, and I heard, like, zoom right past my ear, bzzz, the fucking sound of a fly. Next thing I know, I hear it just steadily coming in louder, right into my ear hole. And I was like, I'm panicking. I'm sitting there. I'm like, got my finger in my ear trying to get it out. And I'm pretty sure, like, because it was like a quick, immediate
Yeah, yeah.
response. My finger went up, and I felt like I did knock it out, but it felt like it, like, caught itself and, like, flew back up.
Oh my god,
But
you have a fucking fly in your brain.
I know! I still don't know
my
if it's like,
God.
I know it's not in there, but, like, it's that whole thing where someone mentions, like, "Oh, that person had lice," and then suddenly you start itching like you
Yeah.
have it, but you don't. And that's what happened with that, where I was like, I know it's not in there, but I feel it. So I got Sandy to look,
Oh
and
my
even like a few days
God.
later, I'm like, "Can you check my ear again?" Because ever since then, it just feels weird. I was just
Oh my
waiting.
god. That's so scary.
I'm gonna start having flies flying out my ears. That's
This
a
was
horror
the
movie.
beginning of I was gonna say, this was the beginning of one.
It's bad outside our back door right now. Ever since the birthday party, we barbecued, and I guess that attracted all the flies. There's like hundreds of them. I'm like, where are y'all coming from? It's crazy.
I have a gross story about flies.
Do tell.
When I worked at the funeral home, like, sometimes, people die, and if it's summertime, maybe they don't have AC, and, like, it takes some time for them to be found, and that happened one time, and, like, we opened the door to the house, and it was just, like, flies everywhere, and my coworker just goes, "Don't open your mouth when we're in there."
Oh my
Like,
god.
"Thank you for the tip." So I'm in there, like, pressing my lips together as hard as I can. Dude, but
How
then they
long
try to, like, go up your nose too. Fucking gross.
y'all didn't have, like, masks or anything to wear?
No, and in hindsight, like, that's kinda gross. But usually, if we were doing stuff like that, um, we didn't have, like, a whole bunch of stuff, but when you were embalming, you did, but if I did that job
Ah.
again, I would make sure I did wear a mask and, like, have more protection.
Yeah,
'Cause
my shirt would have immediately went over my face, or I would have, like, found something to wrap around my face to be like, "Nah, I'm not breathing this in. No flies are getting in there." That kinda reminds me of that scene from Longlegs when
Oh,
they go inside
yeah,
that one
yeah.
house. When there, like, just flies everywhere?
Mhm.
Yeah, crazy. You know what else is crazy? Us, we're wacky, crazy, and silly on the NightmareSignal podcast on WQX 9246.
Hell yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hello, I'm Derek.
I'm Alyssa, a gross fly bitch, apparently. As soon as you asked me that, I was like, "Oh, yeah, that is pretty gross."
I love
And
that
if
though.
as soon as a fly landed on me, though, anywhere, I was like, "These are
So
dead body flies."
I didn't know you had to do that. I thought you were just like an embalmer, like you just worked at the place. I didn't know you were like, you were like, "Hey, there's a dead body over here. Come pick it up."
Yeah, so it kinda depends on, like, the size of the funeral home you work for, and, like, I know a lot of them here, you just stay at the funeral home and there's, like, separate people to go pick up, but I was living in a pretty small town, so we did everything.
Gotcha. Makes sense, small town, the local coroner is also the gas station attendant, and
Yeah. Well, we had to drive to Austin t if somebody needed an autopsy, so that was, like, 2.5 hours away.
oh, yeah,
But
that's right, this was before you lived in Austin.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I lived in
Jeez.
Kerrville. Um, yeah, pretty crazy.
Did we ever figure out who did the crime scene stuff? Was that Jamie or was that her sister? I feel like we talked
I'm
about it.
pretty positive it was not Jamie, but I don't think we ever found out who it was.
Okay, maybe it was Christina. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that like, I have questions, but I don't know if I want the answers.
Well,
Like,
think
what
on it. We can have a funeral home episode one day. Oh, we
okay,
could watch, like, some, funeral home themed movies, and then we can talk about if they're accurate or not. That might be fun.
okay. I Oh, The Mortician.
I was gonna say that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head, but I know there's other ones I've seen.
Yeah, because I was over here racking my brain, I'm like, "Where what is it a funeral home or a morgue or something?" But, yeah, we got The Mortician.
Yeah.
Um, the I don't even remember what I was gonna say now. Oh, wow, like, my brain
Totally
my
left.
it just went completely blank about that. Anyway,
The Mortician.
nah, it's gone. I don't even know what it was in
Okay.
reference to. I really don't
Yeah.
remember. Uh, yeah. So, today, we're gonna be talking about some stuff. It's been a weird week for us. Alyssa's been busy, I've been busy, and I personally have not done much horror stuff other than the occasional seeing things. I've gotten much better at staying off of social media,
Mm.
and, uh, so I realized I had just haven't been seeing as much stuff, not keeping up like I used to. But I see stuff here and there. Like, for instance, uh, the podcasts, one of our favorite movies of the year so far, Obsession, is officially the highest grossing movie for a movie with a budget under $1 million. Like,
Damn.
I every time I open up social media, and I know it's the algorithm because it knows I like looking at it because we had a local thing here happen, and my timeline is lit up by like people I'm not friends with, people I don't know, just talking about this, and it's kind of getting annoying. It's sad what happened, and I'd like to know what, answers, but I'm tired of seeing it every time I open the phone because it's the same repetitive shit. Yeah. Um, we have an island out here called Horn Island. We got a couple of islands, but right off the coast, and usually all like the like your super white people, people own boats and shit. Go out there and drink, have fun. Usually like a lot of young people. Well, this over 4th of July weekend, there was a bunch of people out there, and there was this group of teenagers who went out there. All of them white, but one. All of them came back, but the not white one, and they ended up finding his body on the other end of the island from where they were, I believe. And it's kind of like started a big like race thing around here. Like one side, coming at the other saying, well, see, this is what happens, when, you don't basically when you don't hang out with your own kind, which that wording is insane to me.
Yeah.
And then you got the other people saying, like, defending his friends, which again, I see both sides. I completely understand, where both sides are coming from when it comes to this, because it's like, we don't know, but that's my stance. I'm like, I don't know until I have answers, but I'm not gonna assume anything. But I will say, that does seem fishy that the fact that they came there with their friend and their reasoning, as far as I could tell, is they say, "Oh, he wanted to stay back. We had other friends out there who's going to ride back with them." But they brought back his phone because his phone was on their boat. And now everyone's like teenagers don't leave their phones, but it's like they will if
Yeah.
they're on a boat. If you're getting in the water, I mean, you're not going to have your phone on you, And I don't know, there's, like, lots of things here and there, and it does seem the more I hear about it, it does seem shady, and it doesn't look good for these groups of kids because one of them's mom is a judge around here, and, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm hoping that it was just an accident, like a rip current got him or something and no one noticed because, there's a lot of shit going on, everyone's drinking, drunk, I really don't want it to turn out that they did something, but then I keep seeing a bunch of posts of people being like, "Look, I grew up on the coast," and it's posting pictures of them being the only black person and their group of friends doing the same thing at the same place, being like, "Look, I never had these problems," growing up, we all hung out, we were all there for each other, trusted each other. It's just shit like that. It just sucks we live in a world now where all that shit is so fucking heightened it's just everyone's already ready just to be at each other, and it's like, man, no. Take a step back. Let's think about what happened, that someone lost their life, and let's figure out what happened before you start pointing fingers, you know? Like,
Well,
no
and
one
it's
knows
not
all the
fair.
facts.
Yeah, it's also not fair if like, "Oh, well, like, I didn't have any problems when I was doing the same thing." Like, "Okay, that's you." Like, you don't stand for, like, an entire group, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
And I could have probably worded that a little better. They weren't saying that. They were more so trying to, like, defend, like, the whole, like, this is
the
why you can't
friends were innocent.
yeah, like or like, oh, all the people say, "Yo, this is why you can't trust white people. You gotta all the my dad always taught me to, have my guard up," which I completely understand. I get it,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
like, I get it 100%. But those people are just trying to say is like, "Look, this isn't like a common thing, like down here on the coast
I
specifically. I
see.
don't know
Yeah,
how it
yeah.
is everywhere else up north, but the coast specifically, it's so like I've mentioned it before here. As much as I hate this state, I will defend the coast because I'm just like, it's not the same. It's so diverse down here, and you'll see that. Like, I was at fucking Buc-ee's the other day, and someone was just bumping, like, this loud, god awful, like, rap music, and I'm not trying to sound old, like, "Oh, rap music," 'cause I like hip hop stuff, but I was like, "What the fuck?" And I looked over, and it's just like, Mullet Man and his fucking, with his, like, trucker hat on with his buddies next to him, all of them just wearing boots with swim shorts and these raggedy ass shirts. It's just their look, but it's just a bunch of white dude rednecks out there just, bumping the music and shit, and then, I'm sure they've got friends that if they have parties that, come out that are people of color. I don't know. It's one of those stories that's happening down here right now, and it's just fucking crazy. And yeah, I lost where I was going with that, my bad, but yeah, social media, the algorithm, that's what it was, showing me things. Anyway, I'm sorry, but yeah, I haven't really done too much horror stuff. What about you, Alyssa?
I have been watching through the Evil Dead movies. So next week, Derek and I are going to be talking about them. So make sure you tune in. I
Because
think
today when we're
that's
recording this, Evil Dead Rise comes out. Evil Dead Burns,
yeah,
I'm sorry, or Wrath, no, fuck. Is this one Burns or
burn,
Wrath? Okay,
burn.
Burn, okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So I've just watched those. I think I watched a Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff. But yeah, other
Hell
than
hell
that,
yeah, brother.
oh my god, that
That's
movie
one of
is
the
so.
few movies we had after Katrina that just sticks with me. It's American Pie Band Camp, Cinderella Story, and Roll Bounce.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Roll Bounce?
I've never even heard of it.
Oh, I think it was Bow Wow or what was the other one? Was it or was it Little Romeo? I think it was Bow Wow. Anyway, it's a movie it's set in like the 70s or some shit, and it's in like one of those kind of I don't remember where it's at, but like a predominantly black area, and they start like skating, and they have like a little crew that they, I think they compete and stuff, doing roller skating and stuff. It's a fun movie. I liked it. It's just a yeah, not one that gets talked about, but it's one of those movies where it's like, "Oh, yeah, that was good."
But, yeah, that's kind of all I've been doing. I think I have, like, 20 or 30 minutes left of Evil Dead Rise, and then I go see the new movie tonight. Excited. But yeah, Derek's gonna watch through the movies this week, and then we can talk about them next.
Yeah.
I already
Pretty
said
much
that. Yeah.
all I really have to do is watch
The
1, 2,
first
and
3.
3, the
Oh,
first
yeah, yeah.
3, but I do wanna rewatch them all because like I said, 2013, like, I will die on that hill. That is, like, top tier horror right there. I'm talking, like,
Man,
when
yeah.
it comes to when that movie comes to gore and just even, like, suspense and just, like, making you feel uncomfortable. All I'm gonna say is the kitchen scene with the arm and the was it the electric knife or the fucking
Yep, the
turkey
carving
cutter
knife.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was watching it last night with all the lights out, just by myself, and I was kinda like, "Ah!"
That's so funny. I seriously can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, be fun.
But this will not be a Scream situation. Like, I'm going to watch these. I acquired 1, 2, and 3, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. I have 2013. I will get Rise, and then I'll see Burn either tonight or sometime this weekend. I am
Oh,
seeing it
hell
this
yeah.
weekend. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hell yeah.
So that way we could talk about them all because I think that would be really fun, and just to compare where the movies started, how they were, and where they're at now, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that'll be interesting.
'Cause there's definitely a change, but, like, the newer ones keep the spirit of the goofiness, but, like, in their own way, where I feel like it's more sadistic now, like, more Freddy Krueger level is what I'm gonna say, but anyway, I don't wanna keep talking and just, just go, "Here's the episode."
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited to talk about 'em. But today I had kind of an interesting thing that I think about sometimes. It's kinda twofold, and I thought I'd get your opinion. So kinda how this started, I don't know why my brain thinks like this, but it
Just
does. So,
just gonna blindside me with, "What are your opinions on women's rights?"
uh,
I'm like, "Ah!"
no, I know better than to talk about that on the podcast. Nope. No crazy heavy topics like that.
No, no, no.
It'd be
I was
movies.
debating on making the joke, but I was like, "No, I think I can," just 'cause I know where I'm coming from. Well, you
Yeah,
know where I'm
and
coming from.
not that he has bad opinions, just
No.
saying that's a nuanced topic that takes a lot of yeah. But
Mhm.
anyway, so sometimes I think about, like, what would I live like if I just decided to be a villain? And I've kinda, like I've kinda, like, qualified it as, like, this is, like, my good life because, it's like you volunteer, you're a good person, blah, 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 all the boring shit. But what if I lived a really fun, quote, "bad life"? What would that be like? So sometimes when we're watching a movie and somebody does some fucked up shit, I'm like, "Man, if I was living my bad life, I would totally do that." So, it kinda got me
Okay.
thinking, like, what what horror characters, even though they're bad, you kind of sympathize with, or you're just like, "You know what? I don't really care that you're doing that because I like you." Or maybe I would do that if I was a villain. So
Hmm. There are some villains like that, and I know there are some movies where where I'm watching it where I'm like, "I don't fucking care about any of these people, just kill them." Like,
yeah.
um, Carrie Carrie comes across
Oh
where
my
it's like,
god, yes.
you for her, you're like, "Go get him, girl." You know what I mean? It's like, "You got
Absolutely. Yeah,
this."
absolutely.
Man.
And, I thought the plague was gonna be like that because I thought it was like, from the trailer, I thought it was gonna be kind of a scary situation. Well, I guess
Yeah.
in a way it was because of bullying, but I was hoping it was gonna be like that where, he just went after all the bullies and, like, fucked 'em up. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I can't wait to see it."
Uh,
3's a good one.
yeah, I thought the same thing about The Plague, but I've said that before, where that's more of a psychological, like,
Yeah.
like, dabs its toe in the horror side, but I feel like it is more psychological and, I expected more supernatural kinda things happening, not so much
Oh,
ghosts, but, like, um, now here is my question, and this is my problem when people ask me hypotheticals because I start thinking
uh-oh.
too much about it, like, when I watch
Oh,
too
yeah,
many kids'
same.
movies too many times, and I'm like, I start questioning things, I'm like, "Well, how do they do that if that is this? Well, in this world, if this is doing this, what do these things do that, or are those, like, where animals are human-like, but there's still fish that are fish?" And I'm like,
Okay, okay, I get you. Yeah.
but with this, it's like, okay, being a villain, is this, like, set in reality where, like, I'm just, like, a bad guy, like, someone who goes out and murders people or steals, or is this kind of like like, I'm an evil villain, I just go out and do crime and crazy things, but, like,
It can be
like
literally anything you want.
okay, okay,
So,
hmm,
you're and you don't even have to be, like, a villain per se, it's kinda more just like, if you were living a life where you didn't care about having, like, good morals or if you're kinda living, like, the opposite of how you are now. You didn't have any kids, you didn't have to, like, take care of anybody, you just think about yourself, and you're just doing
and
whatever.
I would be more of a vigilante.
I was gonna say, I thought Dexter would be something that you would say.
Yes. Yes. Oh, wow,
Yeah,
Dexter is a good
that's
pull.
how I
I was thinking Batman, but I was trying to think of, like, something like I was trying to think
Oh.
of other characters, not, Punisher. It's not horror related, but, like,
Oh, uh-huh.
Punisher has reasons for why he does things. Like, Punisher
Yeah,
will absolutely fucking annihilate people, but he's only killing bad people, like gangsters and
yeah.
stuff, because, his whole family was murdered in front of him, and that's what, like, set him off. Now he's just PTSD crazy and shit, which if you ever wanna watch just the movie, I don't remember if it was even that good, I just remember it was bloody as fuck, Punisher Warzone. This is one of the Punisher movies that's not connected to anything, but I remember that one, there were some scenes where I was like, "God damn."
And,
But
like, I kinda feel that way
yeah.
about the Joker. I mean, like, he's not a good guy or a vigilante, but, like, whenever the Joker movie came out and I watched it and, like, all the fucked up stuff that his parents did to him, I was like, "You know what? Good for you, boy."
Yeah. See,
Which is
and
terrible.
well, no, and see, that's the thing about that movie. The director even said, like, no one was supposed to sympathize with him, but it's
Yeah,
also it's like it's that whole thing that I always say where I'm like, "Well, I'm not just looking at one side." I'm like, "I see why." I'm like, "Yeah, what he's doing is fucked
yeah,
up as an
yeah,
adult." But there are things that set him down this road, and there was never
yeah,
really a chance for him to he never had never just had a chance to straight you know what I mean? To get on the right path.
yeah.
It was
He
just
fell
one
through
thing
the
after ano
cracks of the
yeah,
system and yeah.
and I know that's what that movie's about, but I honestly really
Yeah.
like that movie. That was a good
I did
movie,
too, yeah,
and
for
Joaquin
sure.
Phoenix, I remember seeing
He's
in the
great.
trailer, his laugh in that movie just seemed really, like, forced, and I was like, "Oh, this is kinda cringy." The first time I heard it in the movie, I was like, "Ugh," but then the more I watched it, the more I understood why it sounded like that. It's uncontrollable, and it's just him
Yeah,
trying to hold it back, actually, and that's a good example because, like, there were people who did, like, wanna be like him after watching that movie. They're like, "Fuck yeah, the Joker," but it's
yeah,
him
people
later
always
on, and it's, like, the crazy people, I'm not trying to throw a bunch of people under the bus here, a whole group, but, like, kinda remind me of, like, the juggalos who take it serious. Not the ones
yeah,
who just having fun, like, the ones who are just like, "Yeah, I got a hatchet at the house, Imma hack you up." Like, you might actually do that, I'm not gonna go out there with you.
yeah. Well, and unfortunately, I do think, like, the Joker kind of became a symbol for some, like, white supremacist groups and stuff because 'cause they're like, "Yeah, like, he's the underdog, blah, blah, blah," and, like, dumb shit like that, so, obviously, I think that's really fucking bad. I'm just saying, in Fantasyland, where sometimes you're like, "Yeah, this villain is cool," I think the Joker's cool.
Um, okay, so real fast,
Oh.
what you just said about, like, it'll make you feel better. So, that's one of those instances where fucking the white supremacist people are just taking something that is the complete opposite and
Oh, like,
and
misunderstanding it and
well,
yeah.
not even misunderstanding it, but just, like, taking some guy, like, "Yeah, he'd be just like me," and it's like, "Actually,
Oh,
no." And I have proof. This happened twice in comics. So, back in the day, there was a DC Marvel crossover, okay? And there's a character in Marvel called Red Skull. He is a Captain America villain. He was, like, one of, like, the head, like, Nazi people, like, doing, like, experiments and shit and just, like just really fucked up shit.
damn.
His face is a red skull. And anyway, so all the villains got together, like, from both places, and, the Joker's talking to Red Skull, and he's just like, "You mean that's not just some crazy disguise? I've been working with a Nazi?" He's like, "That mask must be cutting off the oxygen to your brain. I may be a criminal lunatic, but I'm an American criminal lunatic.
Yeah!
Keep back, boys. This creep's mine." And he pulls out a gun.
Fuck yeah! Okay, cool.
And
It's less
then,
cancelable for me to like the Joker now.
yep. And then one of the newer comics, he's just like, "I'm American. I fucking hate Nazis. I'm a homicidal maniac,
Oh,
not a
no.
traitorous bigot." Traitorous bigot.
Yeah!
So I figured,
That's
and what's
amazing.
crazy is Joker in the comics is actually that's a very well written villain because, like,
Oh,
I
mhm.
like the Joker in the comics because him and Batman's dynamic when you come to the just the psychology of it and everything's crazy because, like, Batman won't kill Joker because he needs Joker, and Joker doesn't kill Batman because he needs Batman, and he also respects Batman enough to not unmask him.
Oh.
But, like, there was, like, a story arc where Batman died and Joker got fucked up about it. He even, like, put on a funeral and stuff, and it was just like, it's weird. Like, DC Batman comics are really cool, especially with Joker, but, um, you're talking about, like, sympathizing or just, like, liking things that Joker does. Because I mean, he is a lunatic, but some of the stuff he does, it's like, well, he's kinda sticking it to everybody else, you know?
Yeah.
Loki is another one. Sandy loves Loki, but I like Loki too. He's just an ass, but he's like I almost said he's just a smooth ass. But but, like, I
That
don't
should
know,
be the
it's
title of the episode.
smooth
Smooth
ass.
ass.
Loki's a smooth ass. Uh, but yeah, uh, villains like that, like, there are some where I like them. Dexter's definitely one of them, and I'm gonna reel it back in here to the more horror side. It's just when I think of stuff like that, like being a villain, it's like even in games, I try where you could just be the villain. Like I'm like, yeah, fuck you. But then I'm like, then I kind of feel bad. But
Mm,
I don't have a problem hurting, like in games and stuff, like hurting people that are doing bad, just justice is served, even though it's, I shouldn't be doing that. But that is how I think, though. I think a lot like Dexter, where I'm like, that person, you don't need to, not saying I would do anything, everybody. Just just anyone listening, cops, police, FBI, anybody listening on this conversation. That's not what I
yes,
mean. This is hypothetical.
yes, and this is because we do try to do good and whatever, and at least for me, I kinda think it's like I don't know, whenever I have this hypothetical situation in my mind, it's kind of relaxing because I think about like, "Oh, what would it be like if I just didn't give a fuck and I wasn't worried about, like" "Oh, I got this shirt at Old Navy, and I bet, like, a kid made it, and, like, am I a
Oh,
bad person?" And, so it's just, like, kind of the opposite of me, and it just seems like it would be freeing. That,
yeah.
if there was a Karen at the grocery store, I just, like, fucking punch her in the face and I leave, That would be so nice.
But see, you're still kinda going back to, like,
True. In this
you're
scenario, yes.
yeah,
Sometimes I think about, like, being an actual villain, you know, like Tony Soprano or something, or like a mob boss or like I think about
yeah.
that.
I'm trying to think, like, I don't know, I don't think I've ever read that. I think, like, surprisingly, I feel like I don't know, maybe it's not surprising, but just I'm inherently, like, just a sympathetic person, so it's like, I feel like in any instance, if I'm a villain, I'm still doing it for good reasons, like,
Good villain,
morally
yeah.
yeah, I'm still,
Okay, okay.
because in
Yeah.
my head, I was trying to think, I'm like, "Who else?" I'm like, "Oh, Robin Hood." I'm like, "But no, he's stealing from the rich and giving to the poor," or whatever he's doing, so I'm like, "Well, I mean" I'm trying to think if I could, like, ever be like an overlord, 'cause this comes back to Star Wars,
Overlord.
like a Sith Lord or something. I feel like being a Jedi, they're really good, but Sith Lords are really evil, but I think there's, like, a middle area, like, in the gray area where there are some that are both, like, they
Mm.
could do bad, but can do good, but, they're just kind of, I guess, neutral, or I don't know. It's a good question. You got my brain going. Now I'm trying to think.
Yeah, one of mine is Pearl. So there's a couple kills in the movie that I'm like, "Ah, you shouldn't have done that. That wasn't very nice." But then, like, for a lot of Pearl's movie, I'm like, "I get it, girl. Your life would be hard. Like, you chop that guy up. Fuck him."
Yeah, but you see, you're rooting for her because she's defending, like, you know what I mean? She's getting rid of someone's bad. We're going into Dexter territory where he's like, he's
The
going out.
guy that I'm talking about isn't necessarily bad. He's
Oh,
just
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know, because like I said,
I'm trying
usually
to think of
whenever I
some
have those kind of thoughts, it's just usually when people piss me off and they're just people where I'm just like, "Yeah, you suck as a human."
I'm trying to think. Let's see. At
Yeah, I
the
looked up movies where you sympathize with the villain, but I'm going more specific. I'm going horror movies. Someone goes, Candyman, dude was tortured and killed for being in love with a white woman.
Oh, shit. I've actually never seen Can
Me neither. Wow. On this one, someone's like, Carrie is the perfect example. And I'm like, well, I was right. So the backstory I gave my reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street would be make you kind of sympathize for Freddy in a way. Like you would be like, all right, dude, fuck him up. Like, I get it. Um, where I said that instead of him, like them like leaning into like, oh, he did do this, but we're not actually going to say it. And you're just kind of like, I'm rooting for a pedophile. No, no, thank you. Rather than
Oh.
in my version, it's he was accused of it and he was innocent, but the parents threw him under the bus, or it could have been a situation where they're covering up for somebody else, and I don't know, just a whole thing where he is, like, wrongfully killed, and,
Oh.
he comes back and he's like, "I'm getting my revenge on you fuckers for taking me out. I didn't do anything to you kids. Now, Imma do something," and then slice and dice in your dreams.
Oh,
'Cause
I have another one.
Mhm.
Um, in The Substance, shit, what is her name? Main character oh, yeah, Elizabeth. Even though and she takes the substance and there's like a situation that's created and it's really bad, I still kind of feel bad for her because it's like, society just kind of used her up and then threw her out when she was older. So everything that happens and like the bad consequences that she creates, I'm kind of like, I get it. you know, I don't
Yeah,
feel she did bad stuff, but I'm still like, I understand.
yeah. I I'm trying to
Wow,
think.
why
I
do you
know
have to be such a good person?
I'm sorry my mom raised me right.
You don't ever fantasize about being a bad boy?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I never even had those urges as a
If
young
there was
kid.
a
Yeah.
weird way for me to say that, fantasize and bad boy in the same fucking sentence, I feel like it caught you off guard, but you're like, "I'm just gonna let it go."
Yeah, yeah, because my brain was like, "Make a joke, motherfucker. Do it." And I'm like, "No, move on." And then I just said something where I was like, "Even when I was younger, I didn't have urges." And I'm like, "Oh god," and that's where that ended. No, I'm trying to
Sorry.
think. No. Oh, shit. You're fine. What just happened? My chair just fell. Okay, well, that's gonna be uncomfortable for a bit. The arms on this just hold on, everybody. Oh, there we go. Okay. When I was a kid, I'm trying to think, like, I didn't have, like, destructive urges like most boys do, like, I feel like a lot of
Oh,
younger
yeah,
boys are
yeah.
like, "Oh, let's break things," but
Yeah.
maybe I
Let's burn
did,
down the
but
shed.
yeah, like, I think it's like I think I just had control over them, it's like I enjoyed, like,
Yeah.
throwing a rock into a mirror or breaking glass, but if it was an abandoned house or if it was just, like garbage on the side of the road, like, "Oh, it's a random mirror, I'm gonna throw a rock through that." Breaking a glass bottle, but it's like I'm like, "I don't wanna do this because I know this is gonna hurt something," or, I like setting fires. It's cool. I like, it's cool, but also I'm like, I'm not gonna burn down a shed because then I might go to jail.
Sure.
So, I don't know.
But say
May
say there was, like, a bully that was picking on you. You're never like, "Actually, I'm just gonna stop because I feel like I sound like the fucking psycho here.
No. No, no,
Why
no,
did
no,
I
no, 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 no.
present such a weird cancelable conversation?"
No, this isn't a cancelable conversation. I get what you mean. No, if it's a bully, fuck them. I'd fuck them up. But that comes back to someone is doing something wrong and I'm
True.
writing air quotes, "righting that wrong." You know?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Because even when I think about, like, what I would do, it would be like, "Oh, well, I would, like, fucking rob this bank." But even
Yeah.
that, it's like,
It's like you're not
the
hurting
bank is
anybody.
yeah, the bank is
Yeah.
shitty and probably, like, stole from people and,
Yeah. I mean, I say you're not hurting people robbing from a bank, but you're taking money. But also, I'm that kind of
Robin
person
Hood.
where I'm like, if I had like $1 billion,
Yeah, you
I
just
just be
fix
start
stuff.
fucking helping people. Yeah, fix things. I
Mhm.
don't know. Like I said, I just like I have things when I get mad, like road rage thoughts. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm
Mm.
I'm trying I'm dancing around things to be honest, because I don't want to say stuff where it's like, you know what I mean? Where people will be like, hey, let's go get this guy. Because I have thoughts, but
You don't wanna you don't wanna share fantasies of being a bad boy and be on
yeah.
an FBI watch list.
But hey, anyone listening though, it's only against bad people, people who do bad and wrong things. I can't think of a single good person where I'm like, fuck that guy. Unless it was like jealousy, where I'm like, man, everybody likes that dude. I don't like him. Like Ryan
Yeah,
Gosling.
but
No,
even, is he one of them?
no, I always make jokes about like Ryan Gosling where I'm just like, I hate him. But like everything he does, like I like he's in a band and it's a Halloween
Oh, and
themed band and like I told you about this. I'll send you it later so
I
you can
think
listen to it.
okay. So
It's really good, and that's the other problem where I'm like, "No, I do like him as an actor, and apparently he is funny, and he is likable," but it makes me mad because there's a point where women were all like, "Ryan Gosling," and I'm like, "Stop it." Insecurities, okay?
Uh, eh, or maybe
Mm. Oh, The Ring?
Oh, mhm. Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one for you as a parent,
Mhm.
'cause you're like, "Well, I would wanna save my kids, but fuck all these other kids."
The mom from, Bring Her Back.
Oh, yeah.
How far would you go to bring your kid back? Would you kill a bunch of people or, kidnap someone? And, not trying to have any spoilers because I highly recommend everyone watch that movie. It's a good movie. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's one right there where it's like, what you're doing is very morally wrong. But I understand, I mean, like, if I found out I had an opportunity, I'm like, all right, what could I do? But then again, I'd be like, okay, who are the bad people I can go and get? But
Yeah.
then again, it involves also having to have another child, and I'm like, "No, if not yeah." It just gets weird and murky.
There's a book that I really like called Suffer the Children, and it's by Craig DeLuey. And, it's basically a plague where all of the children under the age of 12, I think, basically turn into vampires, and they have to be sustained on human blood, and all their parents start doing the craziest shit in order to obtain blood from other people to, keep their children alive. And that one is a really good one along those same lines, like, what would you do? Because like, there's a lady that turns to sex work to get blood for her kids, like, there's somebody that kills their dog because they think that the dog blood'll work, but then it doesn't, and yeah, that one's really interesting.
It's like True Blood where they make synthetic blood, but some of them 'em don't like it.
Oh.
It all comes back to True Blood. No.
Yeah,
We were talking about that the other day. Um, what's the name of that book called?
for the children,
Suffer the Children book. Gonna add book at
Craig
the end of that.
DeLuey.
Cool. I will probably look into this. I'll see if there's like I was about to say, is there an audiobook? And then right here,
Yeah, that's how I was
grab a copy on Amazon or stream the Audible audiobook.
or for free at the library.
Yeah. There's another book called Suffer the Children
I saw that, I haven't
by
read that
John
one.
Saul. Interesting. Uh here's an interesting one. Oh wait, first off, Pearl. Someone mentioned Pearl.
Yeah,
So,
it's not alone.
Cabin in the
Um,
Woods, and I get at first I was like the villain, and I'm like, but those guys, I'm like, oh no, that's like a whole like division office thing, and it does make sense though, where it's like you do kind of want to root for them because it's like it's not like they want to be doing this. It's just like this is how they save the world. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
what they have to do. But someone put Cabin in the Woods, been mentioning it a lot, but the bad guys were doing their jobs and well trying to save the world. Some were more sympathetic than others, though. Definitely felt for Richard Jenkins and then poor Hadley and his merman. And then it just says that the two people you're rooting for, Dana and Marty, like they became the villains at the end, being selfish of like, well,
Yep.
guess we're gonna let the world in. And it's like, damn. You're taking out everybody for this? It's like, I'm not saying sacrificing is good, but when it comes to this, it's like, okay, you know, you are doing this to protect people, I guess. Then that's a whole another thing is like, people used to do that really, sacrifice people because they thought that, I
Mhm.
don't want to upset the gods. Here, I'm gonna chuck this woman into a volcano.
Oh, I have another one that's, like, mildly cancelable.
Uh-oh.
Not really, but so Danny from Midsummer, the main character, her boyfriend is so fucking shitty, so it's really easy to be like, "Fuck him." But I don't wanna say too much about the movie since you haven't seen it, but stuff with her boyfriend happens that, like, if you really think about it, like, you probably shouldn't be rooting for Danny and, like, all the other forces, in that movie, but it's kinda easy to, because her boyfriend
Yeah.
is so shitty at the beginning.
It's that's Mr. Bug Eyes, right?
Yes, yes.
From The Mummy?
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. I'm seeing a trend here.
What?
So,
That
the
I
villains we th no, no, the villains you root for are just people who have been wronged.
get yeah, you're right.
So, it's like, that's what justifies them. It's like, are there any villains you like, "Dude, I fucking love that guy, even though what they're doing is fucked up and there's no reason for them to be doing it." You know what I mean? Like,
I guess Pearl is the only one that, oh, I guess in The Witch too, the main character, I mean, like, I guess her family didn't really necessarily do anything wrong, but also whenever, she became a witch at the end, I was like, "Yeah, fuck your family. Be a witch. Do witchcraft
yeah.
naked in the woods."
I wish that movie could have been a little better.
I'm
I'll
sad you
give it a
didn't like
rewatch.
it. Good
I'll
one.
give it a
Yeah,
rewatch. I need
that
to at home with headphones and subtitles, which speaking of
I think
subtitles sorry, what were you gonna
oh.
say?
I was just gonna say, I think it was tainted by your bad situation at the theater.
This is true, this is true.
But yeah, you also need subtitles. That movie is so hard to understand.
The new werewolf movie that's coming out that I really wanna see
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
is apparently also in, like, Old English like that, and I'm like, "Oh my god."
Shit.
I'm like, "Please don't let" like, it looks cool. The way it's shot looks like old I don't know. I've seen some stuff from it, I'm like, "Okay, if this is how the whole movie looks," I'm like, I'm here for it," but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, "Please just put subtitles on, I don't care." You could even get creative with it where you put
Okay,
them in there
cool.
yourself, and you write it and you have it in, like, some weird, like, Old English kinda font, but that's readable.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I'm trying to read I'm looking for some other stuff over here, but, like, everyone so what do we have so far where they're just villains for the sake of being villains, but you're like, "Fuck yeah." So it's Pearl, um,
Maybe just Pearl.
yeah, hmm. I'm looking around my office now to see if anything's, like, catches me. I was looking, I was like, "Jason?" I'm like, "No, he was drowned, he no one saved him because they were out fucking." Um,
True.
on this list, it's like somebody's like Pinhead, but it's like Pinhead kinda just fucks with evil people already going to
Mm.
hell, and then it says, "And is kinda lenient sometimes, even helps fight even worse demons at times." I wonder what that means. But then someone's like, "Pinhead isn't really evil until part 3. He's just fulfilling the contract," which makes sense. I mean, like, I was like, "Alright." Well, he's not shown to be evil, I guess. I mean, you're filling contracts to kill people, then I'm like, I don't know. This is a very good question. Johnny Depp was the villain in The Ninth Gate? Interesting. I haven't seen American Psycho, it's on my list, but
Oh, yeah.
They said Christian Bale.
I don't agree with that one because, well, I guess he doesn't only kill women, he kills some dudes. Yeah, maybe I can see that one. Also, though, I kinda see him and I'm just like, "Oh, he's just like this rich, perfect fuck him."
Yeah. I feel like his is more of just also again, just like, okay, maybe that's a good way to do it. Instead of being a vigilante or an anti-hero or whatever, you're taking out the bad guys. He's just this guy taking out people that just annoy him. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, you know what I mean?
Which,
Like, just
yeah, relatable.
but yeah, excuse me. I know, yeah, and that's what I was getting at with, like, the thoughts where I was like road rage thoughts where I'm just like, or even just people get on my nerves, everyone has crazy thoughts, but yeah, there we go. I think we figured it out. That's probably what kind I would be. It would if I had to be a villain, that's what I'd be. I'd just be the one who just like, I'd be that person just taking out people that are just I feel are in my way, but,
Yeah.
you know, even if they're good people, they're still annoying as fuck, and they make things terrible and miserable. I'm trying to think about, like, my, like, retail jobs and just jobs in general public jobs. Those are the ones where that's where villain arcs start. If you've ever worked with the
Absolutely,
public.
yeah. Working with the public, dude, there would be times where I would just, like, look at somebody and be like, "I wish their fucking head exploded right now. Fuck them."
Mhm. I always have, I always have funny thoughts in my head where, like, if someone cuts me off, I'm always just
Um,
like, in my head, I always have, like, a button in my car that I push and, like, rockets come out the side and shoot or or an arm, like, similar to, like, a spatula comes out under me and just goes under their car in front of me and flips them into the air behind me, and I just keep going. Just
oh,
dumb
yeah.
shit like that, but there's also other things where I'm like, let me get an aluminum bat." But it's usually for bad people.
Yeah, now
Uh,
that I'm really thinking about it, it is harder to think about, people that aren't vigilantes or, stuff like that.
yeah. Um, like I said, it just depends on what you're going for, but like you said, this is just someone who just does bad things and you're just like, but again, like I said, it's just what are those bad things? Like, what are you doing? Are you just killing innocent people for the sake of doing it? Because that's just evil. It's like I don't want to be evil. Like villains
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to be evil. Because like look at Gru from Despicable Me. He's just out here stealing the moon, stealing pyramids, hanging out with his minions.
Oh, I'm gonna go see the fucking Minion movie on Sunday.
Really? Did not realize you were
Okay,
a Minions fan.
I have literally never seen any of them.
Really?
So, Matthew brought it up and was like, "I kinda wanna see this Minions movie." It's like it's about, like, different horror movies and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, that's really interesting." So I read a little bit more about it, and there's, like, this big ass list of, like, all the movies that they reference in it, and people were just talking about how it's kind of good, and there's a meme,
Interesting.
where the part in Friendship where he's like, "Oh, I heard that there's a Marvel movie that's really
Yeah.
good." Somebody made a
So
meme of that. Yeah,
I hate it.
so
I
dumb.
hate it because it's so relatable, but he makes it so awkward.
Yeah. Yes, but somebody made a meme of that, and it's, like, him sitting on the couch, and there's a little minion next to him, and it's like, "I heard that there's a Minions movie that's a love letter to cinema." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm
We
gonna go
should go
see it."
see it.
Yeah, I'm
I
going
had
to. Sunday at 9. Hopefully, not many children will be there.
it's the summer, good luck.
Yeah.
Even if there are, I mean, like, I don't know, most of the time
It'll
when
be fine,
kids
yeah.
yeah. Uh,
I mean, it is a children's movie, so I'm not trying to say there shouldn't be, but,
man, what was it? Me and Ryan, years and years ago, right when Sandy and I got together, him and I went to the movies, and we saw 2 movies back to back, because we walked out of one, like, "Hey, you wanna see another movie?" We're like, "Yeah." One of those was Despicable Me.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I
I
literally
didn't
don't know anything about it.
I had no idea this one referenced horror movies. I might go see this because
You could
I
take
know Apo yeah, but I know
it's
Apollo wants to see it. Um, Atlas is kinda iffy, to be honest, just 'cause, he has his moments. The last movie we went to, he ran down to the screen and was trying to touch it, and I had to run down there and pick him up.
oh,
I'm like, "But let's go get some candy, and then we'll go sit down," and then he sat down for the rest of the movie, but yeah.
that's
Yeah, but I wanna see this. I'll be honest, I like the Minions. I like the Minion movie. They're funny. It just sucks that, like, old people kinda ruin them with their memes, with their memes.
you're right.
But I do like the Minions also, Imma be honest with you. The Minions reminds me of the Half Derek all the time, anytime I see them.
Uh,
It's fucked up
right.
because, like, they're tiny and they're short, but he used to always, like, send the gifts, and he would always, I think he was able to do the voice of one of them and just, like, say, like, their weird language because they actually have a language. They had somebody come
Yeah,
in and write their own language. Uh, like, there's a reason Minions are as big as they are. They're not bad movies. They're just
yeah,
silly kids movies. Turn your brain off. But
yeah.
I just associate them with him. So every time I see a Minion, I'm like, "Ah, good old Kimmel." There's layers to this. Um, man, you know, do you think this would be this could be a good Facebook question? Oh, dude, I got
Um,
one.
okay.
Uh, uh, oh my god. Give me a second. I hate this. I hate this. Butcher. Butcher from The Boys.
Oh, shit, I haven't watched it in so long, I actually don't really remember.
He's just a shithead dude. He is just a bad person, but what he's doing is for good reasons, but he's willing to take anybody out who gets in the way regardless if they're good or bad. He just doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to stop the soups because he's got a vendetta. That's a good example because even by the end of the show, I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but, like, even at the end, you're just kinda like something he goes to do, I'm like, I still understand it, man. I understand it, you know, but people for some reason, instead of resonating with him, they're all like, Homelander. I'm sorry, Homelander. I the people
Um,
who were like, "Yeah, yeah, let's look up to him." I'm like, "No, he's a fucking breast milk drinking baby boy, like, a fucking weirdo.
he's a bad boy.
He is a
'Cause
bad boy."
for some reason, that's the phrase that came to my mind, like a fucking weirdo.
It's fine, it's fine. You're good. It look, it's not like the t it's like the time when you said you're like, "Don't wake daddy." And I know you didn't
That's
say it
not
like
how
that.
I said it.
I know. I think when any adult just says daddy like that, and it's not in the
Yeah.
context of talking to, like, a kid, going like, "Hey, go tell your daddy."
Yeah, yeah.
It just sounds
Then it's
weird.
weird, yep.
Oh,
That is true.
but yeah, so I would think Butcher. Butcher's a very good example of that because he's somebody you root for, and 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 I know that was the question, right? Like villains you do kinda, like, sympathize with or, like, you understand, like, there's kinda
Um,
both, right? Like, what kind of a
yeah, kind
villain
of
would you
both,
be?
like
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Not necessarily sympathize, but, like, if you could just have a consequence-free life of doing bad shit, like, now, what would you
Yeah.
do or who would you be?
But see, then again, then Butcher is still only doing what he's doing because it's to stop the soups because they're fucking up the world. But it's also a revenge story because of his wife, so, hmm, I don't
And
know.
I love revenge, like John Wick, you know,
Yeah.
they killed his dog. Um,
Whoa, dude, like, you totally killed my dog.
oh my god, gotta
You're
fucking
what
but I'm like that too. I'm like, if someone intentionally killed my cats, I would go on a murder spree too. I get it.
Mhm.
I'm
Oh,
like, good for you, John.
that's the kind of thoughts you have when you become a parent, like, whenever, like,
Oh yeah,
the
I
thought
bet.
of, like, anyone, like, doing anything to your kid, I'm like, "You would need to, like, put me somewhere until you deal with that person because I will hunt them down and I will figure out a way. I will get somebody on the inside if I can't get in there."
Yeah. Yeah,
I
for
know
sure.
people who know people who know people, I'm sure, so man. Now, this topic does kinda go into, uh, what I had mentioned before about, like, different paths in life you could have taken.
Mm,
Like, I could have ended up being someone who just does drugs a lot, would I be selling drugs? Like, what would that be? But then again, I think I'm like, well, maybe, like, even if like, I don't think it would have never went down that road because I wouldn't have allowed it. You know what I mean? Because at some point, I'm just like, whoa, this is too much. Let me back up. I've never done drugs. I just mean like that was like around me a lot growing up. So
mm.
at any given moment, I could have, but I was like, no, I'm good. I don't know. That's a good question.
Heck yeah. Yeah, you were
I'm not
asking if
sorry.
hmm?
Asking if what? No, no, no.
If, I thought it would be a good Facebook question, and I'm like, "Yes and no." 'Cause I feel like you could get some interesting answers, but then also, there's probably gonna be people that are like, "Yeah, Homelander's a great guy," and, like, well, I guess, there's not really a wrong answer, but
No. But maybe some people weed themselves out.
exactly, yeah. It's like, I would, like, go back in time and make sure Joe Biden was never president or, like, something like that.
See, somehow turned into politics. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
hypothetically, what kind of
exactly,
fucking
yeah.
villain would you be, asshole? Um, I am going to type this out right now while I have you here, tagging you in it. Um, what if you were a wait? What's the question? If you were a villain, what kind would you be if there were no repercussions?
Yeah, and
Or is there
maybe
a way to word that better?
for some reason my brain is turned off.
I'm sorry. Oh shit, it's noon. I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh, you're
Supposed to be
good,
a
I
hard out
figured
at
you were
noon.
gonna pick it up. I feel like that's good, and then maybe add, are there any villains that you shouldn't sympathize with but do?
Yeah. Okay. Would you be okay? If you were a villain, what kind would you be if there were no repercussions? And what? Oh, that's all caps. What are some villains in media? I'm gonna just put media because it could be in
Yeah.
anything. Uh, and what are some villains in media that you sympathize with? Right?
Yeah, and maybe I don't know if, like, maybe bad guy or something should be in quotes instead of villain, because I feel like
Okay.
when people hear villain, they think about, like, extreme. So, I don't know, maybe it
Well,
whatever,
that's
it
where
just
I
be it.
thought you were going earlier, because
Oh,
then we started talking about it. It was like, well, I mean, everything we would be doing is morally you're doing it for, good reasons,
Oh,
but
yeah,
also
maybe you
it's
could
not.
say, like, morally ambiguous or I don't know.
Yeah.
I
What are
feel stupid
some
right now
Don't. Why do you feel stupid?
because 'cause I'm like, I cannot think of how to phrase this.
Well, how about this? I will figure it out after we end, and then we'll take care of it on Facebook. I just figured while we're here, we could figure it out, but yeah.
No, I'm good before.
I think morally ambiguous is a good thing. So I looked up the definition just to make sure, that was true, accurate. And yeah, situations, actions, or characters that cannot be neatly categorized as entirely good or bad. So I think that'll be how we word it. Uh, yeah. So I mean, this one's gonna be a short one today, everybody. But when we return next week for a 4-hour podcast, oh surprise,
Dude,
Alyssa!
yeah,
No,
it's gonna be a long one.
nah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun. At least we get to talk about these fun movies.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll have 7 movies to talk about. It'll be like
Oh
Scream,
fuck!
but I'll
Wait,
be better organized.
6.
Or 6, yeah, you're right, 6.
Yeah, and if you want to, if at any point you feel like I'm gonna get some shit together to make this more streamlined because
That's
you're
what I
better
was
at
gonna
that than I
do.
am, okay, you're a lot better than me at that. So, yeah, we'll do that. I'll get on to watching those movies, and
Nope.
we will report back next Tuesday. But you won't hear it until next Friday,
Yes.
unless you want to support us and you guys start being like, "Hey, get a Patreon so we can pay to get this sooner."
Get an
Then maybe we would do it.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, yeah, fuck
You
Patreon,
mentioned
OnlyFans. I'll send you guys bug
OnlyFans
pictures.
podcast.
I'll send you guys bug pictures. Horror. The horror. But yeah, this was the Nightmare Signal podcast. Thank you everyone for listening. Don't forget to go and follow us on Instagram at the Nightmare Signal Pod. Or if you want to send us an email at thenightmaresignal@gmail.com. Yeah, right, right to us. I saw we got a couple of new followers on YouTube and on Instagram, and I think on Spotify we got like one new one. We're up to 16 now, so I'm like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But as usual, like we say, we'd like to hear from you. But until next time, my dudes, deuces.
Bye.
Adios, turd nuggets.